What's Good podcast.
Are you ready?
Hey, ladies and gents, this is your girl Brianna Jovahn, and we are back with another episode of What's Good podcast. Today, we're going to do something a little different. As you guys know, we are going to discuss topics and self-reflection of things that I've done in the past, things that I'm doing now. So I was just looking at my Instagram account, and I was just looking at some videos that I've done, and this Real Talk with Bree really took kind to a lot of people. A lot of people understood what was going on. They agreed with my thoughts. So I thought I should bring it on a platform and see what you guys think about it. So let me know your thoughts. Definitely take a listen. As mentioned, this is a throwback recording that I did some years ago, actually. But I think it's still relevant to this day. So listen to me. Let me know your thoughts. And let's go ahead and get into the episode. Hey, ladies and gents, this is your girl Brianna Jovahn, and we are here for a real talk with Bree. So before we get started, I definitely want to, give y'all some updates of what's going on with What's Good podcast and things of that nature. So I think the last time I did a real talk with Bree, it's been a couple of weeks now, and if you don't know, we are now maybe 4 or 5 episodes in of What's Good podcast, so make sure you tune in. Everything is in my bio. You can watch it on YouTube. You can also listen to it on Spotify, iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, all the major platforms. As far as podcast directories, you can catch me there and listen to the different entrepreneurs and creatives that I bring onto the show. Everybody has an amazing story and they want to share it with you guys. So make sure that y'all support them, listen, take notes, because everybody be dropping all the gems. So click the link in the bio and get started today and catch up if you haven't listened to any of the episodes. With that being stated, that is a really great segue for me to get started with what Real Talk with Bree will be about. So as some of you know, I do consult. I help people start podcasts. Some people want me to do marketing and social media and get like the strategies together. But what I have noticed is, and some people, this may ruffle your feathers. Some people may say a amen, hallelujah. But what I am getting is basically knowing your worth. Last season, I started with asking people for donations for the podcast because I feel like I didn't know my worth. I was telling people, hey, if you're reaching out to me to be on the podcast, the only thing I request is for you to do a donation. And a lot of people were still saying no. You could have just did a $5 donation, a $10 donation, but they were all saying no, your metrics aren't high enough, or there's just all type of bull manure response. And I just feel like if you're coming to a business to advertise, and let me tell y'all, when people reach out to me, they try to tell me what topics I need to discuss. They have new books, they have new songs, they have a plethora of things that they want to advertise. And what they don't know, if you're coming to a podcaster and telling us that you have a list of things that you want to talk about, you're basically telling us that you want to advertise on our platform. That costs. And as a business, you would think that they would have advertisement budgets, right? So moving back to the donations, as I'm looking back now, I allowed them to tell me what my worth was. It's different when you go to somebody and say, hey, can you be on the podcast? I don't ever expect anybody to pay. I do have a donation. Like if you still want to donate, cool. Here goes the information if you want to donate. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to podcasting, now a lot of people are doing Zoom. Zoom costs, to have that time as far as like storage, that costs. Equipment costs. Having proper lighting costs. If you do in like a co-working spot, because, you want to be careful of the sounds and things of that nature as far as background noise, that costs. Some people have software that they pay for, that costs. It's just a lot of things cost. And so for you to come to us and say, hey, I want to do this, and that on your podcast and telling us how to run our podcast, yeah, you may want to think about putting some money to the side before you do that. And I hate that I've been hearing it from so many podcasters. Initially I was feeling like that, like, dang, people are telling me, and they right. I do need to start charging people that reach out to me. But now, since I have done that, I'm now starting to hear, people talk to me. Oh my gosh, Bree, like, I'm seeing you putting your prices out there. You're doing advertisement slides. Good for you. How can I do that? Everybody is telling me no. So it's like I'm not the only one. So that's the reason why I want to do Real Talk with Bree. Just like we have, Black Lives Matter, podcasters matter. And I'm not, trying to, at all equate both of those. But what I'm saying is, as far as businesses, if you're reaching out to podcasters and you're telling us how to run our show, because let's rewind. Anybody that knows my show, we automatically talk about, what's coming up for you. But initially it's about you and how you got to where you are today. So if you're telling me, oh, let's talk about moms and, in the pandemic and teachers in the pandemic and how we're doing this and that, I don't have topics like that. So for you to tell me, oh, I think this is how you should run your show, and you're not trying to donate or support the platform, you're just looking for ways to get put on, that's a problem for me. And so now I'm at a point when I tell people how much my prices are, and they're like, oh, no, thank you. We're not looking to pay right now. Okay, good. Because at that point, me and you weren't supposed to connect. And I think with us podcasters, we have to have that type of mind frame of, this is my worth, and if you don't believe in what my worth is, then you can move around, and there's nothing wrong with it. You don't have some people that's gonna pay, that's really trying to collab with you, and there's gonna be people that's gonna say no. And so my point here today is, for one, businesses, creatives, if you're trying to share your story, if you have a PR, whatever the case may be, make sure that you tell them before they reach out, hey, do we have whatever the case may be to be on their show? I know a lot of people are now bargaining. So let's say if I'm a photographer and I want to announce that I have a discount going on right now, I may want to give you a free photo shoot for maybe 30 minutes, or give you some headshots for just allowing me to be on your platform. There's nothing wrong with that either, because at that point, it's a collaboration. A collaboration means I put in something, you put in something, and we both go win. Whatever the results are, we're both going to win. So that's one thing. And for two, podcasters, we have to know our worth and be confident in what we can bring. If we're paying all of this money for us to sound good, for us to look good, and that goes for our guests, we need to get a return somehow, some way. Initially this was just a hobby for me, but I have really turned this into a business, to where now I have included knowing your worth as far as your mindset when I have conversations with people, because we have to know our worth. $10. If you're just now starting off, hey, just being on my podcast just costs $10. If they can't afford $10, then they shouldn't be in your presence, no way. Because that's another thing. A lot of people tell me, well, Brianna, just now starting off, I don't feel like I should, ask people for money and things of that nature. And that's cool and that's dandy, right? Because you're just now starting off. But if you ask for a donation of $5, $10, something that's on the lower scale, there's nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, it's a collaboration. So know your worth and be confident. And that goes back to what I tell people on the daily. Be confident. If your Instagram is booming and banging and everything looks right, when they go and listen to your audio and everything is clear and concise and you're dropping gems and you're allowing people to learn, your audience, you're giving them a lot of great knowledge and resources. In return, you can't give, like you can't support. That is a problem, y'all. That is a problem. So those are just my two biggest things I wanted to share today. Is, for one, y'all, know your worth. And number two is, if this is going to be a collaboration, both parties have to put in to receive the results, and everybody wins at the end of the day. So just know collaboration and knowing your worth. And I'm going to leave that with y'all today. That is it for me. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I mentioned, make sure hit the link in the bio if you guys and gals want to listen to the podcast. Also, if you want to, get some coaching or just some help with your podcast, you can also schedule a call in my link as well. So that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for supporting. All of these videos are going to be on YouTube as well, which the link is in the bio. And that's it. That is it. Okay. Y'all have a great one. See y'all later. Deuces. Toodaloo.